We'll keep talking about health care. It was late April when President Trump was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, touting his 100 days of action as he hit that milestone in office and promising lots more action to come, telling the crowd, quote, "We will repeal and replace Obamacare, you watch." That effort, of course, failed this week in Washington, as Doug talked about. So how is it playing up in Harrisburg? Let's bring in R.J. Harris, 580 on your AM dial up in the Keystone State. R.J., we talked to you on that 100-day mark. You're back here now. Who do your listeners blame for the current health care failure?
Mainstream politicians, Democrats and Republicans. You know, we get the feeling that there are a bunch of Republicans. The president's trying to drain the swamp. There are a bunch of Republicans stamping on the drain plug. Keep it in.
So what do they want done now? Are they saying that repeal, replace of Obamacare is still a necessity? Is it more that they just want the president to keep being a disruptor? What's their benchmark?
A necessity and a campaign promise by many. So, yes, absolutely, and want it taken care of. In fact, to the person, I hear people say that members of Congress ought to be on Obamacare. And if they were forced to be on Obamacare, this would have been fixed weeks ago.
Well, we did hear from the president yesterday. He talked about possibly eliminating some of the subsidies for Obamacare to members of Congress and their staffs. They have a huge exemption. Some folks will tell you that the president can unilaterally end those. Sufficing to say that'd be popular in Harrisburg.
Very popular. Yeah, I think that would be one of the biggest things he could do, honestly.
What are your listeners saying about going forward for this president, who at every turn, to your point, seems to be blocked by Congress? Why? Whether it's his own failings or whether it's Congress's failings. But still, a lot of the president's campaign promises, tax reform, haven't gotten done.
I believe, and another thing that I hear pretty consistently, is that these politicians have it easy. They have it cushy. It is a swamp that needs to be drained. And I still think that that is absolutely number one, that people in the heartland believe that they have it made, honestly.
Well, the person who's coming in who you might say is going to be the chief plumber, if we want to take this analogy forward, is General Kelly, who's going to be the president's new chief of staff, conceivably to bring some discipline to what everyone would agree is a pretty chaotic West Wing. This is, though, what the Wall Street Journal said about that in a very scathing editorial, essentially saying that it is not the president that was the problem, saying Priebus wasn't the problem, but this shuffling of the staff furniture won't matter unless Mr. Trump accepts that the White House problem isn't Mr. Priebus, it's him. What do you think the disconnect between the Wall Street Journal and your listeners is, who seem to think that Mr. Trump's doing a good job?
He is doing a great job, but we're not giving him free rein either. I talked to a lot of people who were not happy with the way the Jeff Sessions thing was handled. But all in all, I think that people believe that Trump is doing a great job. I mentioned to you on the way down here from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I passed a huge barn with a Trump sign on that the gent who put it there is still as happy today as the day he put it up.
Well, if you're putting a sign up and leaving it there, that says something. You said, though, about the issue with Jeff Sessions. Is there a feeling among your listeners that the president's shooting himself in the foot sometimes?
I think there is a feeling that there is a lot of wackiness in the White House.
Do they care about that? Does it matter?
If he is getting the job done, no. And so far, they believe he is getting the job done. What
do you view as the benchmarks? You know, we in Washington, we just love every tweet. We love every vote. It is a constant necessity, if you will, and it's breathless. When does the heartland, when do your listeners take stock and sit around and go, well, gee, how good a job's the president doing?
I do think it's after a period of seeing health care resolved and somebody looking out for your average worker bee. It is not about Obamacare alone. It's about co-pays and deductibles that have gone through the roof, as well as the monthly premiums for many, many worker bees. We kind of feel like there's no one looking out for us, and the only one that could is the president.
Well, it was James Carville during the Clinton campaign that said it's the economy's stupid. That truism hasn't changed.
Absolutely, no question.
All right. RJ, appreciate your insights, as always. Thanks so much. Let us know what you find on the drive back home, all right?
Sounds good. We'll do.
All right.